Hello, everyone, and welcome to the channel, Shelly's Millions. Happy Super Bowl Sunday. What team are you guys going for? I live in Los Angeles, so I have to go for the LA Rams. Of course, that's not what today's live stream is about. We are going to talk about any remaining issues you have in terms of the California EDD, your 1099-G taxes, your PUA proof of employment, what's included in the overpayment waiver that California is seeking, that they've signed up with all the other states to ask to be able to implement, and whatever other unemployment questions that you have are. Or we can just chat. Okay. So also, have you guys seen the new video that Jenny Silver put out? It is a behind the scenes look at kind of what we did as she helped me launch a business plan for my channel, Shelly's Millions. And you guys, you might be wondering why I hired her if we kind of grew at the same time. And, in terms of YouTube and making videos, I think we each have our own style. And I know that sometimes you guys like a little bit of both styles. So that wasn't what I wanted her help with. What I wanted her help with was building a website, like making a rate card in case I want to put ads in the videos and work with brands and things like that. That is the type of thing I need. And I am not good at building a website yet. Maybe one day I will be, but I didn't want to do the dirty work of that. So that's what I hired her for. And so check out that video on her channel if you haven't already. Good morning, Suzuki. I'm going to back up and I'm going to answer Mark Mann's question that says, does Social Security count towards the income limit in California for a hardship waiver for repayment of PUA benefits? And I believe that it does. So when they're looking at your total household income, they're not, to my knowledge, just looking at earned income. They're looking at all of your income. Because I have to change out my glasses because they are super glary today. I don't know if I have a different pair. Debbie, are you into the Super Bowl? A lot of my coworkers are. So I know a little bit more about, that's much better, about the Super Bowl than I normally would. Thank you, Bonnie. Yeah, it was really cute. It was really fun working with Jenny, but also definitely very fast paced. We stayed on track. We did have a long dinner. Um, it was fun, but a lot of work. And somebody on her channel said that we had good chemistry together, and that's true. I was rewatching some of the live stream that we did and some of the shots that she got when she was photographing me, and we did have good chemistry, and that was fun. Good morning, Francis. Francis, I feel like your family, your kids maybe might be into the Super Bowl. Are they Rams fans? Also, I do think that I figured out how to share my screen. So I might test that out in a minute. What am I trying to do? I don't remember. I grabbed my phone for something. Oh, I know. I was going to try and look up the screenshot that I have in, oops. Did I not favorites it? I must have. I didn't favorites it. I screenshotted it and I didn't put it in my favorites, the income requirements. Okay, well, let's go to photos. It'll be right around my last live. The last two lives. I'm trying to find, there we go, the screenshot. It just says from my screenshot, and I can look it up. It can just say family income level table, gross monthly income. It does not say earned income. And here's that screenshot. I wonder if I can share, like, if I bring up a photo, if I can bring that up. I don't know. I don't trust myself on that yet. So yeah, and for a family of one, it's $1,351. that you can make a month in order to not have to, for the overpayment to be considered a financial hardship. Okay. The halftime show. Yes. I don't know who's playing at the halftime show. I know that they're saying people my age are going to enjoy it. Let me Google who's playing at the halftime. All right. And Mark, you're welcome. It's crazy that EDD income limit is about 1,351 gross. So they're not taking into account rent or household expenses. Gross would indicate that they're not. But okay, one, they're not seeking overpayments just yet. They're just kind of sending you notices of potential overpayment. There are 7 scenarios where the overpayment should be waived. They're calling it blanket waivers. A blanket waiver would mean that you don't even need to fill out a request to have it waived because it's automatically going to be waived in those 7 situations. One of those is the financial hardship. But yeah, the income threshold is not very high in order to surpass that. Okay, halftime show. Halftime show 2022. I'm more like a Puppy Bowl person. Okay. Who's it going to be? Oh, yeah. Dr. Dre, Kendrick Lamar, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, and Mary J. Blige. All right. That's why they're saying people my age. All right. Dr. Dre and Eminem together. Interesting. I guess he's not still locked in the basement. Anyway. Okay. I need some coffee. If you guys would take a moment and like the video, I would appreciate that. And Mark, you're welcome. One of the things that I do want to say on the channel is if you have not yet been asked to repay the overpayment, try not to worry about it. Do appeal, do file the waiver. And if you don't qualify for the waiver, go from there and try and arrange a payment plan. Why is this eye so little? It's because I closed last night, so I'm tired. Okay. Maybe the live stream's not that active this morning. There are not a lot of comments yet in the chat. Looks like there's about 24 of you. I have a feeling people are making their guacamole. They are getting hunkered down for the game. What time does the game start? I feel like it starts at 3 and then there's pre-show at 1. So I think maybe everybody's preparing their salsa and stuff. Okay, so Debbie says, oh, I forgot. I'm using StreamYard today, so we can put Debbie's comment on. Debbie's comment says, am I near the stadium? I am. Well, I'm near the expo line. So I'm actually halfway between 2 expo line stops. And I was joking that I was going to rent out the parking space at my house. And then tell people they can just take the expo down to the SoFi Stadium. Okay. Amy says, showed verification for employment and looking for work, and they accepted. Thank God. Should I reapply? I'm babysitting and going to college right now. So right now, you probably wouldn't qualify for a whole new claim. They would want to see $1,300 in your highest earnings quarter from the base period they're using. And then on top of that, they would want some reattachment to the workforce. Babysitting could potentially count as reattachment to the workforce. For the reattachment to the workforce portion, that can be self-employment, but I'm not sure if they would go ahead and approve that. Generally, for a new unemployment claim, you would need traditional W-2 wages or earnings. And you might be thinking, well, and the $1,300, that has to come from W-2 wages. So for the longest time, I was like, well, how can you have W-2 wages and not have a reattachment to the workforce? But all I had to do was look to my own claim to figure that out. I was furloughed March 15th of 2020, but I got paid on March 20th of 2020. So I would have had more than $1,300 in my highest earnings quarter. And of course, they're not using that quarter anymore at all to determine benefits. But I got furloughed and then I received my paycheck. So I would have met the earnings requirements. And if that was your situation and you're doing something that's traditionally self-employment, then you would be able to potentially qualify for a new claim. But if you don't have $1,300 in your highest earnings quarter from a W-2 employer, then you wouldn't qualify for a new claim. But I'm glad that they accepted the documents that you sent in. Thank you for saying that you like the background. The space is $500 a spot. Yeah, and I even joked, the movie theater that I work at is pretty close to the expo line too. It's further away from the stadium, but I was like, since the theater is going to be slow today. And by the way, if any of you are nervous about going back to the movies, but you've been wanting to go back to the movies, but you want to go when it's slow and you'll have lots of space around you, if you are not into the Super Bowl, today is going to be so slow at the movie theaters. So go out and show your local movie theater some love if you're not watching the Super Bowl. Or if you're not two sheets to the wind and still good to drive after the Super Bowl, even in the evening is a good time to see a movie on Super Bowl Sunday. It's totally dead. Okay. You like the question captions. It's a nice upgrade. Yes. And I think I learned how to split my screen. I'll try that out in a moment. I was struggling with that last Monday. Okay. Crystal says, you're appealing your proof because you were denied. You turned in an affidavit as well as a written letter of employment offer and a written letter explaining that your children were home. So a lot of people are calling, and the rep, usually a tier 2 rep, is actually able to fix that over the phone. I'm not sure why they're wrongly denying people. So a lot of people are having good luck if they call the EDD and get that changed, and or they're having, and speaking to a tier 2 rep, or if you just include actually the same documents in your PUA appeal, oftentimes they're able to help with that. Like, they don't make you go through the whole appeal. Sorry, I was trying to look up a piece of information. Also, it is the weekly time to say that if you're wondering if your documents are approved that you sent in for your PUA proof of employment, Jenny Silver still hasn't received notice that her documents were approved. So, I'm using her case as a gauge, and I'm not worried until she gets hers. So no news is good news. I'm going to try and post some links over here. Oops. What's going on here? I'm still getting used to this system though. Okay, how do I? Okay. Oh, I put my, I didn't mean to do that, but that's what I put on screen. So I was putting those links and trying to pin the comment. Claimer, if you do need to call the EDD to follow up with anything and you haven't used them before, I don't know who would need to use them that hasn't used them, but if you haven't used them before, that link will save you $5 off your first call. That's in the description of the video. Housing is Key is still taking applicants. And then, of course, your assembly member can help a lot of times as well. Okay, Mark says, can they garnish his Social Security if he can't get a waiver? Oh, I wish my mom was in chat. I wonder if I can text my mom and ask her. Let me Google it also. Let me do that. Can they garnish? I want to say, hold on, let me not guess. There's two different answers. Let me say let me get real specific. For unemployment. Okay. Unemployment and other benefits such as Social Security, federal student aid, and disaster assistance are usually protected from wage garnishments. However, these benefits can be garnished if you owe money for child support, taxes, or student loans. Can state unemployment garnish my Social Security check? Top answer. It seems to say that it is, so this is an attorney answering someone else's question. Although your question is not quite clear, generally, certain types of income are protected and cannot be garnished to pay your debts. Social Security retirement benefits are generally exempt from garnishment. However, there are always exceptions, such as garnishment to pay child support, federal tax debt, and/or federal student loans. Unemployment, I don't think, would be federal tax debt. I'm going to keep Googling until I try and find the answer. This is how I research my videos. I just keep Googling, and if it doesn't quite have the answer, then I keep looking. Somebody said, one attorney answer says your Social Security is protected from garnishment. Moreover, the overpayment may be dischargeable in bankruptcy in case you care to look into that route. So it seems like, from my quick search, that in my opinion, from what I've briefly read, it doesn't look like they would be able to do that. So that's good news. Hopefully that puts your mind at ease a little bit there. Okay. Am I going to go to my mom's today? The show time's around 4 to 4:30. I don't think so. I'm a bad daughter. I'm trying to make some videos. My house is a mess. I need to clean my house. So I have a lot of things I need to do. Okay. Lovely says, when is the deadline again? So the deadline's a little bit different for everyone's PUA proof of employment. So you would need to see when they're asking for your documents. Okay. Crystal says that you have a friend on Social Security who collected PUA and they cut her Social Security benefits in half. So yes, because, okay, so that's a little bit different. You have to report any income that you make to Social Security. So when you're getting unemployment benefits, they are going to cut your Social Security because you report that income to the Social Security office or administration, and they lower your Social Security amount. But in terms of garnishment to repay an overpayment, according to my quick search, it doesn't look like they're supposed to be allowed to do that. Debbie, garnish everything, Mr. Government, so we all live in the streets with the bugs. I hope not. Sammy and Company says EDD PUA are saying no more documents at this time. To me, this means that they are putting you on hold in a way. What do you think? Possibly. To some of the people who are familiar with my stream, I have a person, their name is KAFLA TV. They actually make unemployment videos in Korean, and he volunteers. I don't know if he volunteers, but he works for an assembly member. I don't know if he's like an intern or a volunteer or paid intern or paid employee, but he works with assembly members, and he said that there is kind of like a pause on those documents, or at least maybe they're not like processing them. I can't exactly remember, but there were 1.4 million people that were asked to send in their documents. They're now saying that 30%, or they said almost 30%, have turned in those documents. And 30% sounds like a lot until you do the math. It is still almost 1 million people, 1 million people that haven't sent in their documents. So it's going to take them a long time to get through them. Also, okay, wait, let me do 2 more questions, and then I want to share something in the latest news release with you guys that I'm going to try and share on screen. Lorna says, I sent proof of affidavit, proof of invoice, and when I worked for the census in 2020 on December 11th of 2019. Okay, that seems good. Did they not accept it? Thank you, Crystal. So Lorna, Did they accept it? If they didn't, I am recommending calling the EDD. I know that I don't like to recommend calling the EDD, but I would call the EDD. I would ask for a tier 2 rep and I would see if you could do that. All right, I'm going to see if I can share my screen. So I'm going to pull something up with some news that I want to share with you guys from the California EDD. Okay, we're going to do this time, guys. I'm going to do this successfully. Here we go. Sharing the screen to get to the EDD news release. Maybe, okay. So I practiced this the other day and it worked. And it's not working now. So maybe I have to go into my settings every single time and add that in. So I had to change my settings in order to do this. This is annoying. I do not want to update my computer. Maybe I'm not going to be able to do it today either. Hold on. I really want to be able to do this. And I thought that I changed my settings so that I could. Oh, here we go. Let's try one more time. I'm sorry. Thank you guys for your patience on this. Oh, well, okay. Here we go. Here we go. Ooh, ooh. Okay. So now I'm sharing the screen, right? Okay. So, and of course, I can't figure that part out. Okay, so this is the latest California EDD news release, and it tells you how to get your 1099-G. First, you would go to payments, and then under payment activity, your form 1099-G. But I made a video on that. I think you guys have already downloaded your 1099-G form. I have not received one in the mail yet, only online. I have not seen reports of people getting them in the regular mail. But this is the part that I want to share with you guys. Okay. Processing unemployment claims and helping customers. Following the end of federal benefit program last year, call center volume has fallen dramatically. Calls into the unemployment insurance call center are down 95% from January 2021. 1.3 million calls entered the call center last month, down from 27 million in January of 2021. I kind of want to do the math on how many calls that is, but I'm not going to. Evening call center demand is down 47% since November, and weekend call volume has significantly decreased. In response, EDD will be shifting the call center hours to weekdays, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., beginning March 3rd. EDD staff will continue working 7 days a week and shifting the weekend focus to resolving claims. And then they try and make you feel better about this by saying call centers were open weekdays, 8 a.m. to noon before the pandemic. Okay, that didn't highlight at all like I thought it would, but so that's what I'm reading. So they are going to be reducing their hours of operation at the EDD starting March 3rd. So right now they're open until 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturday and Sunday they're open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., but they are cutting out those weekend hours. Okay, so I finally figured out how to share the screen, and I'm pretty happy about that as well. And look at me, I just figured out how to stop sharing the screen. All right, let me go back to the comments. Okay. Okay, Mark says a friend sent PUA proof 3 months ago and hasn't gotten anything. Should my friend call to check the status in case the letter was lost in the mail? They don't notify by email. Did they upload the documents online? I know that's what the EDD prefer right now, but if they uploaded it online, I wouldn't worry about it. That's why I was just saying that Jenny Silver, she sent in her documents back in November and she still hasn't received her notification that her PUA documents were accepted. So until she gets her notification, I'm not worrying about it at all. Lorna says, they sent me a D238-S. You called the person on the phone and told me that they put in the same day on the system, don't need to prove nothing at this time. Yes. So most of the time, the reps actually can go in and change the status, even if you get the notification that your documents were not approved. Oftentimes, if you call, they're able to just fix it on the same day. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. If you guys could like the video, I would appreciate it. Uh-oh. Bonnie, what's from the Social Security website? Did I miss something? I was not reading from the Social Security website. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let me go to your second comment. Social Security does not count unemployment benefits as earnings. They do not affect retirement benefits. So I think that would mean, though, that in terms of like how, like when they're, so I think that that's in terms of like your earned income in terms of determining how much Social Security you would qualify for when you're at retirement age. I think you do have to report income. And that would be consistent with what Crystal was saying, that once she told Social Security that they cut her benefits. Of course, there are times, and the reason part of why I think that as well is with my mom, right? She gets a VA pension, so they lower her Social Security benefits pretty much by the amount of the social or the VA pension that she gets. So I do think that they count some of the government money in terms of determining like what your monthly payment is once you're already on Social Security. So I think they're just saying that they don't count unemployment benefits in terms of like using that to determine how much you'd get paid from Social Security when you retire. I'm not 100% sure on that. Notice by the like face, like, I'm not quite sure. So I'm much more familiar with unemployment right now than I am about Social Security. But I do appreciate you saying that, and I do want to look into that more. Okay. Lorna says, but that happened 3 weeks ago, and you look every day in the mail, but nothing. So Lorna, for you, did you see any of your payments switch to disqualified when they first notified you that they didn't accept your documents? And did those documents switch to paid or switch back to paid after you spoke with the EDD representative? That is what should have happened. What is up? This size dry, this size small. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, we did that one. Okay. A's in 8s says, I got a 1099-G by mail about a month ago. Okay, that's awesome. So you are telling me that people are getting their 1099-Gs from the EDD by mail. Thank you for sharing that. Mark says they don't count as earnings to collect EDD. They may count SSI towards earnings for hardship claim to get a waiver to repay PUA. Okay, thank you guys for sharing all of that information. Debbie says, I'm holding tax submittal until 3/30 of 2022. Last year, without notice, the governor waived $10,300 with a credit that didn't post to early April. And you all know how after the fact dysfunctional government can be. So I don't think that was the governor that waived that. I think that was a federal program. And this year, they're not talking about it. Last year, there was like a lot of news that they wanted that in the stimulus package, and then they just kind of dragged their feet in passing the stimulus package. But when they passed the stimulus package, they did include tax forgiveness. But this year, that's not even in the package. And last year, I was encouraging people to wait, and I waited. This year, I don't see a reason to wait because they're not saying anything in there. Of course, you have till April 15th to file. So if you want to wait till March 30th, there's also not necessarily a reason to file early. This year, for me personally, even though I'm not anticipating tax forgiveness on unemployment benefits, I'm waiting to file just because between YouTube which is self-employment, and then the money I got from work and money I got from claimer referral bonuses. And at the very beginning of the year, I did get a little unemployment benefits. All of that together, I'm going to owe a lot. So that's why I'm waiting. I'm going to try and save up some more money for my taxes so that I don't have to cash out stocks. Mezzo says, is annual summary from Lyft can be proof of self-employment? I would think that it would be able to be used. In your case, do you not have your actual tax return? Tax returns are always preferred, but if you don't have those, then that's okay. All right. Debbie says, what's good out there? Tom Cruise movie on hold until mid-2023. I had not heard that. This week we opened a remake of an Agatha Christie film called Death on the Nile. Licorice Pizza is still good. The Oscar nominations came out Tuesday morning. So we're actually seeing a big increase in a film called Drive My Car. So that got a lot of Oscar nominations. And so that's bringing in a lot of business for that film. What crap? Give mom all the money. She earned it. Yeah. Yeah, my mom, I really need to do a video on what my mom makes like in a month or how my mom lives off of a limited income. She does well with what she has, but the amount that she has to live off of is very, very, very limited. Everything's fine with your payment history, Lorna. So I would tend to think that everything's okay. Most of the people who didn't have their PUA documents accepted, they saw their payment switch to disqualified. If you're, say, paid, I would tend to think that's okay. If you're worried about it, you could call again. You could ask an assembly member to look into it. And if you asked an assembly member to look into it, when you'd email them, you would just say, hey, I received notification that my documents weren't accepted. So I called, the rep said that they fixed it. And, everything still looks good on my account, but I'm worried because I don't want to miss the appeal deadline in case everything's not okay. Would you be able to look into that for me? And then they should be able to look into that for you. Mark, weird that some people haven't heard back after uploading PUA proof months ago. Mine and other people I know took only days to get a letter back. Very inconsistent. Yes. And I don't know if that has to do with, I don't know if it's all going into the same office. I will say that Jenny Silver said that she sent her entire tax return, not just her Schedule C. Now, just the Schedule C was supposed to be accepted. And she was kind of like, they're asking for this. Let them sift through it. Let them look through all of my tax returns. And I'm sure that her documents are approved and that they're on the up and up, right? But maybe her complete tax return was maybe just a lot of pages to sift through. Like maybe they put people that sent like a lot of pages in one pile and the people who just sent their Schedule C in another pile. Like maybe there's like, these ones are difficult to go through and these are easy. I have no idea what sorting method or order method they're using, but yeah, some people are finding out right away and others aren't. Andrew says, sending your support to me. How have I been? Enjoying the hot day. You need to go cool down so you're getting ice cream. That sounds amazing. I haven't been outside yet. I work Saturday nights, so I got to work around 2 a.m., get home around 2:30. So I lay in bed until the last minute and then I get up and I make some coffee and then I come live with you guys. So I'll poke my head outside. I will probably grill today. I'm not a huge sports fan, but it is a nice day outside. So and my friend just got a George Foreman grill for the back patio. So we'll probably do some grilling. Prince Ali says, when will this PUA proof for work drama ever end? It's going to take a while. They haven't even started sending out the letters to people yet, right? So right now they've only notified people online and they still need to send out letters. And I did the math a little earlier and it is still close to 1 million people that haven't sent in their documents. So the EDD is now saying that out of 1.4 million people, that approximately 30% have responded. I don't know how to share my actual screen, so I'm going to do it on my calculator. I think I still had the number up from yesterday, but 1.4 million. That's 1.4 million. And then we're going to go times 0.3. So that means 420,000 people have sent in their documents. But so that's literally oh, wait, let's do 1 point. Why do I not know that? Minus 420,000. Nope. Press the wrong numbers. Anyway, it's close to 1 million people that haven't turned in their documents yet. Oh my goodness, I'm pressing the wrong things on my calculator, but it may not end for a while. And keep in mind, they need to basically manually review. There we go. 980,000 people who have not sent in their PUA proof of work documents. So they have to manually go through this. It's not like a form that says, were you able to accept work? Were you able and willing to accept work? Check yes for yes, check no for no. It's written statements, and hopefully you guys are all typing those and not just turning them in on a notebook, because that'll make it easier for them to read. But yeah, like it's going to take a while for them to go through all of those. Jenny Silver's sitting in her entire tax return. They're going to have to go through all of that. Like a human, not a computer, is going to have to read all of those statements and see if they're true. I'm not only am I worried about the almost 1 million people that haven't turned in their proof of work documents yet. I'm worried that people that have gone back to work are going to completely forget that they need to turn in that they're going to need to include their 1099-G from the California EDD. Like like for example, me, right? It's just easier like if I've been through it. I went back to work this year in March of 2021. Generally, I'm so excited to get my W-2 from my employer. And like as soon as I get my W-2 from my employer, I am on the tax page getting my taxes done, because most years I get a refund. This year, not getting a refund, but most years I get a refund. So I'm super excited to like go in and like fill that out and get my money. This year, what if people get their W-2 from their employer and they completely forget that they need to report their unemployment benefits? Now, I believe most tax software is going to say something to the effect of, did you receive unemployment benefits? And once you say that you did, then that should hopefully jar your memory that you need to log on and get your 1099-G. But are people going to just print up their 1099-G, or are they going to be looking at that section that says action required, documents required? Because a lot of people are confusing it and thinking, oh, well, I don't get unemployment benefits anymore. I'm not getting PUA anymore. So I'm good. I don't need to do anything because I don't want to receive these benefits anymore. A lot of people aren't realizing that this is to prove their eligibility for benefits that they already got. So if you guys have friends that have returned back to work, please, please, I know sometimes people think it's taboo to talk about money, which overall, that's what I want the channel to be about. I want to break down a lot of the things where people don't talk about money. I think it's really important to talk about money, to be transparent with that kind of thing. That way, people, they have more knowledge surrounding the subject. So it might be awkward, especially if your friend is not of the same mindset, but just remind them to make sure to include their 1099-G from the EDD. Also, there's a warning on the EDD website. Like as soon as you click that, it says, this is important tax information and is being furnished to the IRS. If you are required to file a return, a negligence penalty or other sanction may be imposed on you. if this income is taxable and the IRS determines that it has not been reported. So basically, like as soon as you click your 1099-G, as long as you remember to go on the EDD website and actually click it, is a big warning saying, hey, make sure to include this on your taxes. My concern is that people are going to get so excited about filling out their tax refund that they're not going to push that. Okay, I'm getting behind here on the comments. I'm at 11:30 in the comments. Curly says, you have to report any income, whether earned or unearned. It is already reported to the IRS. Yeah, and that's what I was just reading. So you need to definitely remember to include your unemployment benefits on your taxes. What is the D238S letter? Okay, I'm going to actually go ahead and share my screen one more time. So give me a second because it's right there. Actually, you guys, if you've ever wondered, I'm going to put them up on screen. If you guys have ever wondered who I'm talking about when I say Ben and I say I can't say his name out loud, that's Ben. That's why I can't say his screen name on my lives. He's really nice. He's into to like gothic music like I was, and a lot of times they just have naughty names. So that's the name of Ben's band, right? I have that right? He's saying he got lovely news. EDD approved my documents, and now I'm free and clear from the worry to pay that back. I hope everyone is waiting gets an answer soon. Yes, thank you for sharing that. Lorna, I haven't forgotten about you. I'm going to pull that up. Debbie, thank you for clarifying. Okay, I'm going to take a sip of coffee and then I'm going to pull that up. Oh, my mom. Oh, look at my mom. She figured out how to leave a comment. Okay, my mom says, Social Security does not deduct my VA. Oh, but VA counts her Social Security. Whether Social Security deducts part of Social Security depends on how much you make and your age. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Mom, for chiming in. I appreciate that. All right, we'll put the little green guy on screen. Let's put him on camera. That makes him happy. I don't know where the camera is. It's different on Streamlabs. There we go. That doesn't seem like where the camera is though. Okay, while I share my screen, so we're going to share screen again. We're going to do this, and then we're going to do this. Okay, so I'm sharing the screen again to answer Lorna's question. I wish I knew how to highlight this. Okay, we'll figure that out one thing at a time. Okay, so I'm just scrolling. Here's where it says that nearly 30% of recipients have responded so far. Can you guys see my cursor on screen? Yes, you can. Okay, so it talks about this form. Okay, I got to go back and scroll up a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to read this whole section. Verifying employment or self-employment per federal requirements. The Employment Development Department continues reminding those who receive Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, PUA, of the federal requirement to submit documents showing work history before the start of their claims. EDD sent approximately 1.4 million notices by email, text messages, and through UI Online. Notice it doesn't say anything about the regular mail yet. To PUA recipients, reminding them to submit documents to prove employment or self-employment as required by federal law. The notices being provided to claimants include individual deadlines for providing documentation or obtaining an extension of time. I promise we're getting to the D238 part. EDD acknowledges receipt of the submitted information and then follows up with a communication indicating whether the documentation was sufficient. This confirmation is mailed as an additional instructions DE 238 form. So that's the additional information form, the DE 238, with language confirming the documents submitted substantiate that the claimant was or planned to be employed or self-employed before the start of the claim and no further action is required. It goes on to say that nearly 30% of recipients have responded. The majority of those were found eligible. In addition, many claimants had already proven their employment status, such as those who collected PUA in 2020 and provided their 2019 wage information. Here we get to the part where it says that, that additional notices will be mailed in the future to all those who have still not responded to EDD's email, text messaging, and UI online notices. And then this is good too, guys. The California Employment Development Department is not collecting federal pandemic program overpayments at this time. Oh, I wonder if I can make this like full screen. I can. Ha! Is this going to be bigger for you guys? I feel like it is. Okay, here we go. Look at that. Let's see how this looks on StreamYard. Oh, it's hard to see. Okay. Sorry. Thank you guys for being patient while I figure this out. So, California Employment Development Department is not collecting federal pandemic program overpayments at this time. Instead, the text message, email, and UI online notices are the first phase of a multi-step process of notifying and reminding claimants of federal requirements before any collection effort would begin. EDD provides guidance on the PUA self-employment and employment documentation webpage with this information. And then it's talking about how they received more information on overpayments. I actually do have a video filmed about this. It's kind of the similar style where it's the document and then me in the corner going over that. Okay, so that is the 238 letter. Okay, Joel says, I hope I'm having a good day. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And you're about to hit up Lyft and Uber because today it's busy as ever. Have a super good Super Bowl Sunday. Well, thank you for driving today. I hope you make tons of money. It should be surging. Do they still call it surging? It should be surging all day. I bet you are going to be busy, busy, busy. May you make it through without anybody having an accident from their partying in the backseat of your car. Okay. James says, and this comment's from 11:34 a.m. Okay, so I'm not that far behind. James says, EDD subject still providing my channel with lots of views. You remember back in 2020, anybody that had insight about EDD gained so many subs and channels took off. Yeah, it was crazy. And hopefully, James, I've gotten a lot better at making videos and making content. I'm still learning. I'm just now today learning how to successfully share my screen. It's been going a little bit rocky, but I'm getting the hang of it. Even as recently as last Monday, I couldn't figure out how to do that during the lives. It's the traffic has slowed down. I just kind of like going live. So I've not been making as many videos, but I still go live every Sunday morning at 11 and Monday at 9. I do want to still do YouTube. It's been increasingly difficult since I have gone back to work, and I frequently work at least 50 hours a week at my regular job. Those are excuses, not reasons. I need to get more consistent here on YouTube. I would like to make it full time, but yeah, at some point we won't be talking about unemployment and EDD anymore. But thank you for being around. And yeah, the channel blew up really fast. I thought I was just making videos for my employees who might have questions. And it turned out that a lot of people needed that information. My videos were so terrible at the beginning. And I didn't have, because I grew so fast, I didn't have the chance to kind of like make the beginner rookie mistakes without people watching. You guys watched me grow and improve right along with me. So thank you for sticking around. And yeah, quite a few channels took off. My channel, Jenny Silver's channel. We just did a collaboration. I hired her as a business coach, and that was a really interesting experience that I'm really glad that I did. So yeah, she and I are still collaborating, and a lot of other channels cropped up after ours did. Mark, for your uncle that was turned down after sending his PUA documents, do you recommend to call the EDD Tier 2 rep first or contacting your assemblyman? Mark, that's going to kind of depend on how much patience you have. So, calling seems to fix it for most people, right? But even if you use an EDD dialing service like Claimer, even though they're like, oh, call volume is down, they probably also laid some reps off. It's not really any easier to get through to calling the EDD right now. Now they're talking about on March 3rd reducing the hours of the call center. So they're going to be closed again on weekends. They're going to close an hour earlier on weekdays. So it's still going to be hard to get through. I imagine the hold time is still going to be long. With that said, if you have the patience to deal with that, I think that would be fine. If you don't have the patience to deal with that, that's kind of when I would see if an assembly member could help, because they're free. There's no hold time. You email them and they either are able to help you or they're not. Okay. Debbie, is anybody at the movies at 1 a.m.? At least my commute must be fast. My commute is fast. And what happens is like we'll have like a long movie, like West Side Story, right? Is a really long. So if you have a 10:10 p.m. show, that gets out at 1:10 a.m. and you still have to like wait for the projector bulbs to cool off, like close down and lock the building. So that takes some time. And by the time you're done doing that, and also, I don't know why this is. First of all, Marvel movies all have the extra scene at the end, which as a consumer, we love. As a movie theater employee, I'm like, get out, get out, go. Just at that time of the night because I want to go home, right? But of course, everybody wants to stay and see that last scene in the Marvel movies, and then everybody has to go to the bathroom. And of course, we're not going to like lock the bathrooms on them, but like, so a show that gets out at 1:10, but then everybody like straggles out, and then everybody's got to go to the bathroom, and then everybody's in the lobby waiting for people in the bathroom. Can take a while to get out, even if like the movies get out earlier. I hope I don't sound like a big jerk. Hi, Big Cheese. I love cheese. I would just like to share that. Today, you're going to look at a car that is being offered to you. It's a 2015 Acura, but you're always scared that the car is garbage and I'll get severe repair cost later down the line. So here's a couple of things. One, I'm really proud of you that you're looking at a used car. Do you have any friends that are a mechanic? Do you even have a friend maybe that could pretend they're a mechanic that's not, and like look under the hood? Maybe check the oil. Definitely take it for a test drive. Also, on financing for that Big Cheese, I don't think you've been here. Are you paying cash? If you're paying cash, then ignore what I'm going to say. But I actually helped Ali Ababa, who was in here earlier, see about getting any car financing through a credit union. I don't know why credit unions have the lowest interest rates on car loans, but they do. A good one to try is like First Entertainment Credit Union. You don't have to be a member of the entertainment industry in order to join that credit union. Another credit union I know is Navy Federal Credit Union. I don't think you need to be a member of the Navy to sign up with that credit union, but they generally have really low interest rates on car loans. So check that out if you're financing. And if not, here's where my advice differs. And this may just be because I grew up in a family of women. My mom also kind of feels the same way as you do. Generally, buying a used car is a better investment than buying a new car, right? I just watched something on that today. But my mom does also say, like, you never know if you're buying someone else's problems, right? If you're buying someone else's lemon. But if you do buy a new car, you don't need anything fancy. Let's get something like a Kia Forte or a Toyota Yaris, something really, really affordable, but maybe new. But just like the cheapest car out there that you can drive, which I would have done. I wouldn't have bought the Prius, but That's all they had on the lot. And my car like literally wouldn't drive any further. It had over 300,000 miles on it. Okay. Stacy says, I have never received anything asking for proof of income. What should I do? I wouldn't worry about it if you haven't received anything. If you log onto your UI Online homepage and it's not requesting that, then I think you're going to be okay. And you guys, I might pop out right on time today. I might not go long today. Debbie says EDD has been a total mess since about 2013. No worries. I'll have EDD action on the channel for years to come, which is your prediction. That's actually what the claimer guys told me. They were like, Shelly, because when I was considering working for them, right? I really actually like them. I know that they have a bad rap for charging people to call the EDD. It should be free. I completely agree with that. But the service that they're providing, oh, by the way, mom, if you're still in here, claimer now calls the VA. So I think that's really interesting. So if you want to be guaranteed to get through to the VA, they're also that's their newest line. They'll call the VA for you, Veterans Affairs, Veterans Administration. They'll call the IRS, they'll call the Franchise Tax Board, and they can help with disability claims in addition to unemployment claims. But when I first talked with working with them, anyway, I blame the government agencies for not having their stuff together enough to answer the phones. I don't blame Claimer. I think he's smart for seeing a need and filling it. But anyway, that's what he was saying. I was telling him, hey, I think you should call the IRS. There's a big need for that. And they were like, no. We've looked at the call volume and EDD was terrible at answering phone calls even before this. Like, we think we'll have just enough business from the EDD. But I've noticed that they are now expanded into the IRS. So yeah, but I mean, like, that's what they're banking on, is that the EDD is going to continue to be a stupid mess. That's their whole business model, is that our government agencies don't have it together. Okay. Hi, Josie. Thank you. Happy Sunday to you as well. Okay. Noted rock historian says, hello from San Diego. Where are all the jobs pay minimum wage or 100 plus K a year? Nothing in between. I'm kind of seeing that as well. So I hope you find one of those 100K a year jobs then. Yes. Mike says you owed the IRS $6,700 over the 2020 EDD payouts. Oh my goodness. I am sorry about that. If it makes you feel any better, I think I'm going to owe more than that in taxes. The taxes are rough, especially that's why a lot of people are leaving California. Our state tax is high too. EDD is not taxable on the state level, but oof. Okay, Josie says, just wanted to share that you're now a Medicare broker and a certified covered California agent. That is awesome. That sounds like actually kind of a cool job, like helping people. Covered California is one of the agencies that's not too terrible to get through to. LM says, you just got on. Has Jenny heard back from the EDD? You still have not, but don't want to call in and wait on hold just to find out you were approved and didn't get a letter. She has not heard. So yeah, I gotta say that like every 15 minutes. Jenny Silver still has not heard if her PUA documents are approved. And we know that her documents are going to be approved. We know that she dots her I's and crosses her T's and that it's going to be good. So yeah. Hi, Miss Pretty Lady. I hope you have a great Sunday. Yeah, happy Super Bowl Sunday. Okay, I'm going to do one more question. This is going to be it, and then I've got to go. Profane says, you filed PUA after your census job and wasn't able to start. Spoke to an EDD rep and said, I need work history of 2019. She said if I did any side gigs, I can get an affidavit from them. I would try using my affidavit video and explaining why you're sending that. As long as the census job offer was before your claim started, then I think you should be okay. I would try talking to a different tier 2 rep. All right, guys, have a great Sunday. I will see you tomorrow at 9.